Dobre rano, moje canale. Good morning, my channel. From beautiful Penmar Park, Venice Beach, California. Today I'm not taking a bicycle adventure. We've got another little incident that happened. Hold the plane. In the Penmar Park neighborhood, we had one of our neighbors' cars was stolen here by the homeless population here in the park with all the RVs and tents. They went ahead and took the car, committed a crime spree, and then left the car nearby. The police arrested one of them, and that person was in and out of the jail in less than 6 hours and is back in the homeless encampment here in the park. Anyhow, we're gonna go interview the neighbor, get the full story, find out what's going on here in Penmar Park, Venice. Okay, we're in Penmar Park here, and I'm with my neighbor Tina, and Tina is going to tell us the details of the story as to what happened to her, which basically is the homeless people who are living in the encampment in and around the park stole her vehicle and then went on a crime spree.
My name is Tina, and nice to meet all of you. Yes, on Valentine's evening, I was sleeping around 9:30 and I woke up hearing my car start, and I looked outside and it was backing out of my driveway, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? I have a bad hip, so by the time I got to the front door, they were driving toward Morningside. The person was driving toward Morningside. And so anyway, right away made a police report with the Pacific Division. And they came out, they were very nice, and took the report. And of course I couldn't sleep all through the night. The next day I went and got a rent-a-car and dealt with the insurance. It was a big hassle. And as soon as I got my car, my rent-a-car, I started searching for my car. I felt like it was one of those homeless criminals out there that, you know, are on drugs and then just run amok around Venice. So I started from Santa Monica Pier all through the parking lots. I searched for my car, and I also searched all the encampments around Venice, Rose Avenue, and I was just coming up toward, you know, my house, going back to my house and to meet my friend there. And I thought, oh, I'll just go straight, you know, up Rose and see if there's anything around the park on the other side of Penmar on Rose Avenue. And sure enough, I saw my car parked right there at the golf course, Penmar Golf, and in the parking lot.
So basically, where your car was stolen, you recovered it less than 2 blocks away from your house where it was stolen.
Yes.
So the people that stole your car basically just intended on continuing to use it as their own personal vehicle, not exactly hiding it. It was out there, you found it. It was basically at the park.
Yes, exactly. It was at the park. It was parked right over there across the street at Penmar Golf Course.
Yeah, which is basically, as we know from my previous videos, is where we have the homeless encampment. You have the people tent camping in the park, and you've got the people RV and tent camping along Rose Avenue and Lake Street here.
Yes. So I immediately called the police to inform them that I found my own car and to get somebody over straight away in case these suspects came back. And then I immediately called my friend Mikey and my friend at home and said, hey, I found my car, tell him to come and meet me, because he was going to help me search for my car. And but I had found it before he got here. And right when he got here, he came straight away over to the park, and he sat in the car, the rent-a-car, with me and waited for the police. And so as we were waiting, well, as I was waiting for him to come, I noticed that I saw two individuals coming up and passing back and forth in front of my car. And then when he showed up and we were sitting in the car, he says, hey, look at these two. They keep coming back and forth, you know, and looking and whispering. And I said, yeah, I noticed that too. I said, let's just, you know, act like we're just minding our own business and see what happens. Sure enough, they started coming toward my car. The woman opened my car and took out a backpack or her purse or something and added in her skateboard into my car. At the same time, the guy lit up a cigarette and was looking around, you know, and then he started to proceed to open my car. So that's when I said, you know, hey, and, you know, I said some words, but I said, hey, what do you think you're doing? And he's like, huh? And I said, what do you think you're doing that, you know, opening up my car? You're not going anywhere in my car. And then next thing you know, the lady, like, the woman's like, I didn't do it, I swear on my kids, I didn't do it. And I'm like, what the heck? And then my friend Mikey jumps out of the car, he holds on to the guy. I already took a few pictures in the meantime, and then I went over to the driver's side and I grabbed her. She was trying to get away. We had a little bit of a struggle, and then Mikey came around the bend and started holding on to her. The other guy took off. I told him, hey, you taking off? I have pictures of you anyway. So he took off. The police came and they said, well, did you see her still in your car? And I said, no, I didn't see anyone. I only saw her driving out of my driveway. And they said, well, since you didn't see her actually getting in your car and taking off in it last night, then she's in possession of stolen property. And so, you know, it's just you know, very frustrating that they say that that she's not getting you know, grand theft or anything.
So basically, my understanding is that the man ran off and the police are still looking for him, although I'm sure they're not putting much of an effort. You held the woman and the police came and grabbed her, but I know she was back in the park less than 6 hours later.
Yes.
And she apparently has not been charged with any crime of grand theft auto, which is a felony. Maybe she has some kind of charge for possession of stolen property, but she's on a no bail. So they didn't hold her in the jail, and that's because our current district attorney, George Gascon, has the no bail, no cash bail. So here's somebody in our neighborhood, takes a neighbor's car, steals it, uses it for their own personal car. And also, my understanding is that they did go on a crime spree and that they were breaking into other places, other houses, and other cars.
That's correct.
So we're gonna turn over here. I just want to get the sun angle.
So what happened was, after I noticed, you know, inside my car, while I found my car, when I found my car, I noticed inside my car all my belongings were gone, including an 8mm video movie reel of old movies from the 60s of my family, which is devastating because my mom just passed away, and I found that in her belongings, and I was on my way to get that transition to a DVD to show my family. And that is really, you know, it just hits my heart. But what happened was, when I was looking through my car after I took it home, I noticed there was additional identification cards of another woman. And so I connected with her, and she had told me that her car was also burglarized. And I sent her the pictures of the suspects in my car, and she's like, that's your car? She goes, I've been looking all through Venice because I saw there's racks on this car, and that's your car? I said, yes. She's like, they used your car in a burglary to burglarize my car, and they stole over $15,000 of camera equipment. She's a wedding photographer. And so we were both, you know, calling the detectives. We went to the police station, and they said they couldn't really do anything, you know, and help us understand when the hearing was, or, you know, any information about the suspects. So here, I'm just gonna interject here a little bit. My understanding is that the stolen camera equipment, that these two thieves went over to the local gas station and they pawned it off to somebody.
If you're around Venice or anywhere in Los Angeles and somebody offers you a deal that's too good to be true, yes, it is too good to be true.
So
$15,000 worth of camera equipment they sold for $200. So yeah, please, people, I know if you're over here in the beach communities and somebody wants to offer you something really valuable for really cheap, it's stolen. Definitely is stolen. Do not buy it. Do not agree to buy it unless they have receipts for it and can prove it's theirs. Yeah, somebody sketchy looking people at gas stations. Let's not perpetuate the thieving cycle, because that's what happens here. They break into cars, they shoplift from stores, they steal packages off your porches from Amazon, UPS, FedEx, and then they sell it really cheap. And then they continue with their drug addiction. So let's please, people, let's do the right thing. Let's not buy stolen merchandise from these people just because you think you're getting an incredible deal. So what happened with the cameras?
Well, the lady, she received a phone call from someone up in Fresno area saying, and he was a nice soul, she said, he said that his friend came from Venice, and he said that he was at a gas station getting gas, and someone approached him with a mask, around the face and figure, and it was wearing all black, and said, hey, are you interested in buying some camera equipment? And he said, well, let's see. And so he checked it out, and he's $200. He bought it for $200. So when he went to Fresno to see his friend, he said, hey, are you interested in this camera equipment I bought? And the guy looked at it, and he's like, this is not good. This is someone's stolen property. This is like a lot of equipment, a lot of money. Thankfully, the lady that had her equipment stolen, she had embroidered it in her name into the camera, and he was able to contact her, and he returned the property back to her.
Okay, so we got a partial success story. We got her photography equipment. She did get it returned due to a good Samaritan up in Fresno who eventually said, yes, you bought stolen merchandise. So that's good. We got that back.
Yeah.
Now, you recovered your car?
I recovered my car, but during the time when we were waiting for the police, and the woman that had my car, she had my keys and everything. She's like, I said, where is my stuff? All my stuff is gone, missing out of my car. And she's like, well, I can get it back for you. I'm like, oh, you can, huh? And she's like, yeah. And she was like thinking like, what can I tell her? And I couldn't trust her at all. I said, you know what? She wanted to say she was going to give me back my stuff if I didn't arrest her, get her arrested.
As a trail.
So I just said, you're going to jail.
At this point, are your old family movies, the 8mm movies, are they still missing?
They're all missing, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to let all the people watching the video, especially those of us in the Penmar Park area of Venice and in the Venice area in general and the west side of LA, if you do happen to see something, because normally they just discard the stuff that's not worth anything for selling it.
Yeah.
They're not even going to throw it in a trash bin. Usually they just throw it down in front of your house in an alley. If there's anybody that's out there, if you happen to see some old 8mm family movies, contact me and I will get them back. I'll get back in touch with Tina, my neighbor. She wants these movies back. They're very precious. There's no street value to it. It's her family memories. I know you've been part of this Venice community for even longer than me. Tell us how long you've been a part of Venice. 5
generations. My family's here. My mom and my dad were born like blocks apart in Santa Monica in 1941. My great-grandparents came here like in the late 1800s. And I've been living here all my life. So you're talking generations and generations of Venice. These are my kind neighbors that I associate with. This is the true residents of Venice. This is how we are. This is a very close-knit community, and we're basically just being invaded by basically out-of-state drug addicts who are just causing havoc and running amok and just committing crimes with no consequences here. If you do find those films, get back in touch with me and I'll be able to get them back over to Tina. Tina, I just want to thank you so much for talking to me today about this. Is there anything else that you wanted to let us know about what your feelings or thoughts or any political? I know we just had the elections. What do you think should happen here in Venice and in Penmar Park? What should we do with this park? I think that they should really put a a strong, hold, like, make it a priority to take care of these RVs around here and these, criminal encampments. I mean, because everywhere I see, it's just junk everywhere, which was once our hard-earned money, prized possessions that we had that they stole from us, either in our yard or out of our car. And the guys, they caught the guy that took off, and the guy says, well, I live here at Penmar Park with my girlfriend in a tent, and I didn't have anything to do with it. This woman asked me, like, oh, look at my new car, come check it out. But he was smoking cigarette. He lit a cigarette, and in my car it was a bunch of ashes, and they let him go. The detectives, I don't really feel like I'm getting any kind of support from the detective. He's not telling me when the hearing is. He won't even tell me the name of the woman, and won't even tell me they have a new guy now they're looking for. They said.
So basically, sounds like you're a pretty low priority, and as we kind of already know here in Los Angeles and other major cities across America, you as a resident, you're kind of on your own. If you can't lock it up and chain it down strong enough and secure your house well enough, basically you're going to get stolen. Things are going to get stolen, and that's unfortunate.
Exactly.
Let's be a little wiser. We've got some elections coming up here in November. Let's stop voting in the far left-leaning progressive candidates, because it is out of control here. Here we have my neighbor whose entire family's been here. She's been here for multiple decades, and we've never had issues like we have right now in this community, where basically we got to walk out of your house, and if it's not chained down and stolen, you got to walk around with a swivel. You can't even go up to the stores without worrying about something happening to you.
Yes, and my son has grown up in this park. He's played basketball since pre-K through high school, rugby. He's played basketball. He's played softball.
Let's take a little walk here. As we can see, we're starting to get some of the mothers here are starting to come back here.
Played there.
At least they're playing here in the park. There was a time here before they just did the last sweep here where nobody was in this park.
Yeah.
They weren't using it.
But my son is so fed up with the homeless people, he won't even go down to the beach with me to the sidewalk cafe and have a nice breakfast. He's like, Mom, I can't deal with all these homeless people. They're just wrong. They come up to you and they're having bars. He had to fight himself off of these, encampment people. He had plenty of, disagreements with them, and it's out of control. We need to do something about it. Us community have to get out there. I'm ready to go out there and protest with a banner saying stop, RVs, stop these homeless encampments, because they're not doing us any respect. They leave our sidewalks filthy. We can't even walk our kids down the sidewalk. I mean, if we're going to give them help, they got to help us keep our community clean and not be so disrespectful and running amok and stealing our crap. I mean, seriously, this is some good, our hard-earned money that's coming out of getting stolen from these people, and they're just like constantly just throwing them in the trash bins, all our stuff.
So
taking it. I'm upset about it.
I think you would be in agreement with me then that our mayor, Karen Bass, and our local council person, Tracy Park, that we want them to work together with all the other council people and build a comprehensive citywide solution to this homelessness problem. One, the RVs should not be allowed to just park here 24/7 on the streets. They've got to put them somewhere. Please, they've talked about this safe parking lot program now for 2 years. Let's get it going. And then the second one is we need to start enforcing the law. No tent camping in public places. If you get rid of those two issues, then we're going to seriously decrease all of this theft and crime and issues that are happening on a daily basis in our neighborhood. Tina, I want to thank you once again for coming out and interview with me. Thank you so much for being a great Penmar neighborhood, and thanks for being a part of the Danny Slant channel and bringing some awareness to our Penmar Park Venice Beach community.
I'm here to help whatever I can do to support.
If we need to get a protest, I'm going to give it a few more months here, and if I don't see some action, maybe it is that time we're going to organize a big street protest to let people be aware, because enough is enough. We're fed up. We've had it up to here with this stuff.
That's right.
How many more stolen bicycles, stolen cars, broken in houses, shopliftings? It just goes on and on. Fires. And
our dogs are dying from them. It's just crazy.
Yeah. We've had enough. And you're hearing from us. We're fed up. We're asking our elected officials to really do something. Let's hope they do. Thanks so much. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao for now.
Bye-bye.